What's going on, great people? Coach Terrell here. Want to slide away from my usual content, which has been almost 100% sports related lately. Get into the spiritual realm of things. It's been a long time since I've did any content like this, but I was thinking about a lot of things upon waking up this morning, right? So, we're going to talk about good versus evil in the context of, what's going on in society, all the things we see, whether it's war, whether it's all the political stuff going on in the United States, or whether it's even some personal stuff, because I've experienced some personal stuff this year that is absolutely insane, right? Not getting into the details or the particulars with my situation. Some of the things I've realized about good versus evil from a church or spiritual context is that we're often taught to be, if you're a Christian pacifist, meaning pray, wait for God, maybe take a little bit of action, not much, but God becomes, like I said in past videos, like a Santa Claus figure, right? Here's the thing about the opposition, the ops, the evil, right? It doesn't operate in the realm of being a pacifist. It's current, it's happening now, it's happening in live time, and people who are on the other side, on the side of darkness, they don't necessarily pray to this external being and wait for that being to do things for them, right? They just do what they want to do. Case in point, if you're looking at the political system in America, one party's trying to yank healthcare away or take away the discounts that the Affordable Health Care Act provides, right? Tons of things, right? They partner up, they gather their ideas that are often usually selfish and benefit them only, and then they act upon it, right? They act upon it for their own self-interest, their own needs, their own political gains, their own financial gains, while the other side, we do things like protests to gather people, I guess, to the cause, but it's still, in a sense, a little bit passive because we're not, there's not any, how can I say, there's not any direct impact to marching or to gathering people outside of getting them motivated for something maybe in the future, right? So this is where I struggle. No matter how much experience I have in the church, no matter how much experience I've had, with spiritual things, you pray, you have to act, but then a lot of times evil still wins out, right? I'm not trying to get my blessings on the other side, right? I'm not trying to go to the spirit realm, heaven, or any other place to get my gold packages, right? I want them now. I want them fairly. I want everybody to be able to eat. But that takes partnering with same-minded folk. And oftentimes, because we're taught to be pacifists, there's nobody willing to take a risk. And you know what evil does? It takes risk. They don't necessarily care if they go to jail. You know what? Because they have partners, they have enough money to be bailed out. They don't necessarily care about how they look in the long run or if they get caught, because they have partners, right? We don't necessarily have partners on our side. And here's what I've learned specifically over the last month. The partners you have may not be willing to take the risk that you take in terms of speaking up, standing up for justice, or standing up for whatever cause you want to stand up for. That is a great cause. Now, I've placed myself in positions where I said to systems or in certain situations, no, I'm not doing this. It's wrong. No, I'm not firing this person based on why you're telling me to fire them, because it's not enough. They messed up once or twice. The rest of the year, they've been doing good. I'm not firing them. And that puts me in a position where I'm an outsider, right? Because ultimately what I risk is the system turning against me, and then I'm the outsider, and then, the system kind of toppling on me, as it kind of did. But I can't conform. I've never been one to conform. I'm not a conformist. So that's where I struggle, right? You're supposed to pray. Maybe I need to be praying for allies, like real allies. But even in doing that, I got to go find them. So the question for me always becomes, how much is God actually involved in all of this? Because as it relates to the ops, or whatever you want to call them, the opposition, the evil side, the dark side, whatever you want to call it, they're active and they don't necessarily care about an outside force. And low key, they will use our God to justify what they've done, which will actually create this weird type of movement. So now you have one God opposing itself, which is absolutely insane. So that's my rant for this morning. I guess the main thing is, how do we partner, find ourselves against opposition aggressively, not passively? At least for me. I can't be around any passive people because it doesn't work for me. They're not really providing any real help. They may provide subtle help, but ultimately when things hit the fan, they're gonna scatter. They're gonna scatter when a challenge comes up, and then you'll be left standing by yourself against an entire evil system. So that's my thought for today.